and welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at day 2 of Goodbye Paperbacks and Hello eBooks. And the vocabulary words are survey.
Survey.
The supermarket did a survey to find out its customers' shopping habits.
Restrict.
Restrict.
The museum restricts visitors to only 200 a day.
Moreover.
Moreover.
Leslie is a good person for this job. Moreover, she can start immediately.
Vanish.
Vanish.
My wallet seems to have vanished. I can't find it anywhere.
Sway.
Sway.
Bob's parents tried to sway their son from taking a job abroad. So last time, Shane, you were talking about, how e-books are replacing paperback books, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel maybe in the future no one will have paperback books anymore.
But actually, there's a survey that tells us otherwise.
Really?
A lot of people, I think over 62% of the readers still prefer printed books.
Yeah, okay, paperbacks to e-books. Well, you know what's strange though is my dad, he did not want an ebook reader. But I found a really good sale on one and I got it for him. And now that's all he uses. He still loves having his old paper books, but now when he wants to buy a new book, for example, he doesn't have to go to the bookstore, or if he hears about a book he wants, he can just go on his e-reader, press a button, and then boop, it downloads.
It's right there.
It's just right there, and all of his books are in there.
I guess it's really convenient. You don't have to drive to the bookstore and buy a book. But some people, have that kind of emotional connection with the printed books. Also, some people say they like the smell of the book.
They do smell good. I admit that.
And also, looking at your bookshelves, and then they're all full of books. It just makes you, you feel really good, like you've read a lot, right? You can even sell them after, you've read the printed copies, right? So there are pros and cons, but all I know is that we probably won't say goodbye to them very soon.
Yeah, I think it'll take a while, but I still feel that eventually it'll be pretty rare.
I guess so.
We'll see.
Okay,
Only
we'll see
time,
and find out.
Only time will tell.
That's right. Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy.
Goodbye Paperbacks and Hello eBooks.
Results like these also support another interesting finding, which is that most young adults seem to prefer printed books to e-books. A survey of more than 1,000 participants between the ages of 16 and 24 showed that 62% of them prefer printed books to the digital kind. On the other hand, more than half of these participants would rather have movies, music, video games, and magazines in digital than in physical form.
Welcome to Live Interactive English Magazine. Today is day 2, reading an article called Goodbye Paperbacks and Hello eBooks. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And yesterday we were kind of looking at what scientists are learning about how people are reading these days. What the scientists were interested in is how does the brain handle the information that you're reading, and is there a difference between reading on a paper book and an ebook? And they discovered some interesting facts.
Yes, they did. It turns out that tablets and Kindles can't reproduce the experience of actually holding a real book. And this does have an effect on how we remember the sequence of a story. Anyways, though, those were the results. And results like these also support another interesting finding.
Okay.
Which is that most young adults seem to prefer printed books to e-books.
Well, sure. Kids are on their smartphones all the time. They have their tablets all the time. It's hard to get them to not look at some kind of computer screen.
No. It says here these young adults seem to prefer printed books to e-books.
Right, because they're reading their Twilight or Harry Potter on their their Kindles, their smartphones, their tablets.
Oh, they want to read the printed books. They don't want to read the e-books. It's contrary.
Wait, the young adults prefer the printed books?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. So you mean they will actually, if they're reading, if it's time to read, the kids would rather push down the computer and pick up the paper book?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Gossip Girl?
You got it. Now we also have
Hunger Games?
We also have some things we need to talk about in this sentence. First is the word support. Okay? This word has many uses in English. Here, support means to provide evidence or information that makes something seem true or more likely.
Absolutely.
Okay, we also have the phrase seem to. When something seems in a certain way, it gives you an impression that it is that way. So some people seem to feel a certain way. That means they give you the idea or impression that they feel that way.
But it's not entirely clear. So you might look out the window and see a few clouds over there that are moving. The weather seems to be changing. Now maybe 10 minutes from now it won't change, but that's the way it feels. That's the information that you have now. That's what it's telling you. A survey of more than 1,000 participants, so 1,000 people were part of this survey. These people were between the ages of 16 and 24. And it showed that 62% of them preferred printed books to the digital kind. So that's where they got this information. A survey is a question that people go out and ask a lot of people in the public to try to get an idea of what people are thinking. 1,000 people were in this survey, which is a good way of getting some information that you can believe. For example, for the word survey, the supermarket did a survey to find out its customers' shopping habits to give them a better business. So the survey was of young people, 16 to 24, and 62% preferred the paper books. I find that very surprising.
Me too. Now, on the other hand, more than half of these participants would rather have movies, music, video games, and magazines.
Magazines, reading magazines, yeah.
In digital than in physical form. So
Really?
books, people really kind of want to have books in the physical form.
Right.
But with almost everything else, movies, music, video games, and even magazines, people prefer the digital form.
So they don't want DVDs, they don't want CDs, they don't want the video games on a CD, they'd rather just download it.
They don't even want print magazines.
Not even a magazine. I guess maybe newspapers would also be in that group too.
It's possible.
But if it comes to a book, they want to have that book in their hands.
How about that?
Very interesting.
Okay, with that, folks, it's time for a break. But don't go away. We'll be back in no time.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在 Day One 看到一项研究结果显示，看电子书跟看瓶装书的人比起来，他们情感投入的程度是差不多的。可是要回想起故事发展顺序，看电子书那一组是比较有困难的哦。那像这样的结果呢，也支持着另外一项有趣的调查，发现啊，大多数的年轻人似乎偏好印刷书籍胜过电子书诶。那有一项调查，它就是针对1000多位16岁到24岁的参与者，那其中有62%的人，他们偏好印刷书。可是另一方面，这一些参与者有超过半数的人宁愿使用数位版的电影啊、音乐，还有电玩游戏以及杂志，而不是实体版的。我们先来看看 survey 这个单字，它就是指调查、民意调查。那 participant 是指参与者、参加的人。而这个段落里面的 support， 它表示支持、证实的某个论点。再来看 seem seem 这个动词是指似乎、看起来好像。那在 seem 后面如果要接动词，就必须用不定词，也就是 to 再加上动词。好，我们接着回到课文中。
Goodbye paperbacks and hello ebooks.
One of the top reasons for the preference for printed books is emotional connection. Many of the participants said that they like to hold the book in their hands while they read. Some like the way books smell, while others enjoy collecting books and seeing their bookshelves full. Still, others cited convenience as a factor. With printed books, you're not restricted to any one device. Moreover, you can share or sell printed books after you're done reading them.
So it turns out that printed books are still kind of king. I don't think that we're going to be waving goodbye to paperbacks or to printed books anytime soon. Why is that? Well, it turns out that people really do prefer physical books to ebooks. Even young kids prefer a print book over an ebook.
That's right. These are young kids who've grown up in a digital world where they've been able to download almost anything, especially any kind of media or entertainment. But on the case of books, they would rather go to the bookstore and have the physical book. Why? Well, the article says one of the top reasons for the preference for liking printed books more is the emotional connection that the young people and people in general will feel. Not necessarily to the book, to the story, but just to the reading process. Many of the participants said that they like to hold the book in their hands while they read.
How interesting. So these readers are forming an emotional connection to these books. Some like the way the books smell, while others enjoy collecting books and seeing their bookshelves full. Still others cited convenience as a factor. I guess these are all forms of emotional connection. Now we also have the word cite to talk about here. C-I-T-E. What does the word cite mean?
Well, when you cite something, you basically mention it as an example. You sort of say, well, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking about, and then you give one example. You're citing that, you're using it. We can also cite another person's words. If we're saying, well, I heard my boss said, or some famous guy said, or the president said, and then we use the words that they said, we are citing them. We are sort of using that as our words, but they aren't actually ours. Yes. We're using an example that comes from the real world to, give a better idea of what we're trying to talk about. All right, I agree with this. I have bookshelves at home, and in fact, I'd like to build bigger bookshelves because I really just like the way they look.
You like the way they look, they feel, the way they smell. You like all of those things.
I don't spend a lot of time smelling my books, but yeah, sure. When you get a new book and you open it, there definitely is that smell, and it's exciting because you're off on another exciting journey and learning new things.
Sounds like you are emotionally connected to books.
I guess I am. If I had to throw them away, I'd be quite sad about that. There's another thing. With printed books, you're not restricted to any one device. Very true. When you have a machine, you can only do what the machine lets you do. You're restricted in some kind of way. If you're restricted, it means you're limited. There are things controlling what you can or can't do. For example, the museum restricts visitors to only 200 a day. There's a limit, there's a rule, only 200 people. So there's not.
That's the limit. That's the limit. You can't go more. You can't go above that. Now let's back to the article. The next sentence says, moreover, you can share or sell printed books after you're done reading them.
That's true.
And that makes sense. You can't sell your iPad after you've finished reading a book. That wouldn't make any sense.
And you can't even sell the file of that book back to your friend or something like that.
Makes no sense.
Only for you.
Makes no sense. Now, at the beginning of that sentence, we had the word moreover. This is an adverb, and it means the same as also or furthermore. For example, Leslie is a good person for this job. Moreover, she can start immediately.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good. Anyways, what else sounds good is a break, and we're going to take a break right now.
现在电子产品这么普及，我还以为年轻人会比较喜欢用电子书诶，没想到这个研究结果显示呢，多数年轻人似乎比较偏好印刷书。那最主要的原因之一就是情感联系 （emotional connection）。有很多的参与者表示说，他们喜欢在阅读的时候手里拿着书。那有一些人喜欢闻那种书的味道。那还有呢，就是喜欢看到自己书架上放满了书，而且呢，用印刷书的时候，你就不会被任何一个装置被限制住了。除此之外啊，当你看完这些书，你还可以分享或者把书卖掉。那这边出现了几个单字，首先 restrict 是指限制、限定。那文中是用被动语态 be restricted to something， 就表示被限定于某事物，受限于什么什么。那再来看副词 moreover 是指此外，而且它的意思就跟 also 或者是 furthermore 是一样的。最后来看 cite C-I-T-E cite 这个动词是指提及、引用，像是提及某人说过的话，或者是引用某段文字，都是用这个动词。好，我们接着回到课文中。
Goodbye paperbacks and hello ebooks.
With so many reasons to prefer printed books, don't expect them to vanish from our shelves anytime soon. It may still prove difficult to sway book lovers from opting for printed books.
All right, folks, we're back, and we're going to wrap up our article on the differences between ebooks and print books. Now, the first line of this part says, with so many reasons to prefer printed books, don't expect them to vanish from our shelves anytime soon. Here we have the word vanish. If something vanishes, it disappears completely. It might just go up in a puff of smoke. Just disappear into thin air. That's what happens when someone vanishes. Like if I were to vanish, I would just disappear. You wouldn't see me anymore.
It would be like magic.
Like magic, exactly.
That wasn't really very
It wasn't
good.
exactly. It wasn't exactly vanishing, but it was good enough. Anyways, yes, if you vanish, you disappear completely. For example,
Yes, we have an example.
my wallet seems to have vanished. I can't find it anywhere.
Okay, so it's magically just not there. It was there, then it's
magically
not
not
there,
there.
or at least you can't see it. Now, if stores vanish or if books vanish, that means the stores will close, the libraries will close, and not that fast, but maybe over 10 or 20 years. I don't think all the bookstores in the world will just suddenly disappear, suddenly vanish. But maybe over some time they would. But it seems that that won't be the case. It may still prove difficult to sway book lovers from opting for printed books. I think we've learned that, absolutely. To sway someone is to influence them, to kind of push them in a way. When things sway, they kind of, rock back and forth, like a tree in the wind might sway to the wind or something like that. Or you might sway to the sound of music, right?
Sure.
The beat of the music. And if you sway a person, or if you are swayed, that means someone kind of influences you. Your parents might sway you. Your friends might sway you. They might push you in a certain way. And it seems it's difficult to sway or to push people away from the printed books because they really love them.
They like them. You can't persuade them to change to ebooks. They won't do it.
Absolutely not. No, they're not going to do it. For sway, we have this example sentence. Bob's parents tried to sway their son from taking a job abroad. They didn't want him to work abroad or in another country, so they said, "Oh, but you'll be so far. Oh, but it's so strange and different there." They kind of wanted him to stay home, but they didn't say, "Stay home." They just tried to sway or influence him.
Sounds good. And with that, folks, we are now done with our article. But, of course, we sure hope that you enjoyed reading along with us. But with that, folks, it's now time for a break, and we have to say goodbye.
文章最后提到，有了这么多偏好印刷书的理由，就不要期待他们会很快从我们的书架上消失。你要说服爱书人不选印刷书，可能还是有困难的哦。没错，像我就很不喜欢在网络上看书，一定要慢慢翻，翻到最后一页你才会有满足感。那我们最后来看两个动词。首先 vanish 是指消失，突然不见。那么 sway 本来有摇动、晃动的意思，不过它在课文里面是指影响、说服。当我们说 sway somebody from 加上名词或是动词 ing， 就表示影响某个人，使他不做某事。而片语opt for something 表示选择某事物，所以说 sway book lovers from opting for printed books 就表示影响爱书人去说服他们不选印刷书。好啦，那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hello， 我是 Yvette， 又到了 Grammar Express。我们可能会想，1世代的年轻人可能比较喜欢电子书。Results like these also support another interesting finding, which is that most young adults seem to prefer printed books to e-books. 像这样的结果也支持另一项有趣的调查发现，那就是大多数的年轻人似乎偏好印刷书胜过于电子书。动词 prefer 是指较喜欢或者是偏好，要表示喜欢什么胜过什么，或者是宁可怎么样而不要什么时，可用 prefer 加上名词或动名词，加 to 再接名词或者是动名词。I prefer black to red. 我喜欢黑色胜过红色。We prefer staying at home to going out on rainy days. 下雨天的时候，我们偏好待在家里胜过于到外面去。相关名词 preference 是偏好或者是喜爱。我们常用 have 或者是 express a preference for 加名词，指对什么有偏好或者是比较喜欢什么。Judy has a preference for Japanese food. Judy 偏好日本食物。On the other hand, more than half of these participants would rather have movies, music, video games, and magazines in digital than in physical form. 另一方面，这些参与者中有超过半数的人宁可要数位版的电影、音乐、电玩游戏和杂志，胜过于要实体版的。Would rather 加上原形动词是指宁可或宁愿做某事。Would 也常和主词合并，缩写成的。He'd rather go by himself. 他宁可自己去。当有两件事进行比较时，常用 would rather A than B， 表示宁可要 A 胜过 B， 或者是宁可要 A 而不要 B。A、B 当动词时要用原形。I'd rather read a book than watch a movie. 我宁可看书而不是看电影。人们喜欢印刷书有许多原因。Some like the way books smell, while others enjoy collecting books and seeing their bookshelves full. Still others cited convenience as a factor. 有些人喜欢书本闻起来的味道，有些人则喜欢收集书籍并看到书架上放满书，还有些人举出便利性是一个因素。不定代名词常用来举例说明，所举的例子如果是复数名词时，第一组用 some， 第二组用 others， 如果还有第三组就用 still others。 Some students are studying, others are eating lunch, still others are taking a nap. 有些学生在读书，有些在吃午饭，还有一些在睡午觉。以上就是今天介绍的用法，谢谢收看，拜拜。
3, 2, 1, action!
Marty 穿越时空，回到了过去，却不小心改变了历史。为了自己与人类的存亡 ，Marty 必须说服老爸 George 勇敢向老妈 Lorraine 示爱。
Wake up, George. Wake up, George. Quiet. Silence, Earthling.
Who are you?
I am an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan.
Oh, I must be dreaming.
This is no dream. You are having a close encounter of the third kind.
Mom, Dad.
Silence! Or my heat ray will vaporize you if you do not obey me.
Yeah, okay. Please don't vaporize me. I surrender.
Good.
What do you want?
You must take Lorraine to the school dance.
Huh? You want me to take Lorraine to the school dance?
Affirmative.
But I don't know if I will be able to...
Insolent Earthling! Do you wish me to vaporize your brain?
Yeah, please don't kill me. Okay, I'll take Lorraine to the school dance.
Good. Very good.
哈哈，他们居然想出假扮外星人去吓他爸这招，真的是很有创意。然后他就在那边装神弄鬼的，然后还说 Silence Earthling Earthling E-A-R-T-H Earth。L-I-N-G Ling Earthling，OK， 是一个字啊。Earthling 就是只有在科幻小说里面那个外星人对地球人的称法，说闭嘴，地球人 ，Silence Earthling。然后呢，他爸就很害怕说啊，你是瞎狼。然后那个Marty 就说 I'm an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan。Extraterrestrial E-X-T-R-A-T-E-R-R-E-S-T-R-I-A-L extraterrestrial 就是外星来的生物，它可以当形容词，这边当做的是名词使用。I'm an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan， 我是来自沃肯星的这个外星生物啊！我一定在做梦，这不是真的，不是做，这是真实的。You are having a close encounter of the third kind， 第三类接触，它是一个电影，就是这个史蒂芬史匹柏之前拍的一个科幻电影的名字，就是跟那个外星人做的这个接触啦。好，然后就非常非常的害怕，然后他就拿出了他的外星人 人的武器。My heat ray will vaporize you if you do not obey me。如果你不服从我的话，我的这个死光枪就可以把你蒸发掉。Vaporize, V-A-P-O-R-I-Z-E, vaporize 就是使蒸发，把你变成水蒸气。I will vaporize you。不要杀我 ，Please don't vaporize me， 不要杀我，不要杀我。然后最后他还骂他。Insolent Earthling， 你这个傲慢无礼的地球人 ！Insolent, I-N-S-O-L-E-N-T，Insolent， 啊，这个有点讲起来有点文绉绉，其实就是 rude 的意思。好，他们终于成功的吓到了他爸爸，但是他爸爸会不会就这样子去带他妈妈出去？然后这是他约他出去，那到底能够赢得美人归吗？请继续收看英文龙卷风。